It's on the... Ah! He made it! Oh my...
Hello and welcome into Platt Arena. I'm Preston Husband alongside Ryan Holzapple. Tonight we have a matchup between the Huntington Foresters and the Kentucky Christian University Knights. Foresters 1-0 after a dominating opening night win. Ryan, how'd they get it done in night one?
They really just lit it up on the scoreboard as they scored 111 points, that's quite a bit of points for a college game. So they really shot it well from three, as they had 44.1% from the three-point line. So they are draining all their shots from beyond the arc, which just really led to their victory.
The Foresters had a balanced attack, but tonight, Ryan, they'll have to slow down the best player on Kentucky Christian, and that's D'Angelo Stockstill, who's coming off a great performance against another Crossroads League foe in Goshen just the other night.
Yeah, he had 22 points, 6 rebounds, and like 1 assist. He really lit it up for them and helped them beat a tough opponent in Goshen. And
then the player to watch for the Foresters here tonight is Jackson Paul. He's not going to light it up on the score sheet, but he does a lot of the little things for this Foresters side that makes him very important for Corey Alford's team.
Yeah, he is one of the defensive anchors for HU, as he is one of the players that really just gets it done defensively for the team, and he's always that solid perimeter defender if you need a stop up top. So he's just always that Mr. Reliable on defense, which is very huge for a team that wants to win.
Perfect bullet points there to describe him. He's been a playmaker in that first game as he filled up the stat sheet, and a hard-nosed defender, as you mentioned, Ryan, that causes a lot of troubles for opposing guards.
Yes.
The Foresters tonight looking to move to 2-0. A couple of the teams throughout the Crossroads League, though, have had some troubles here in the early going. Indiana Wesleyan already dropped a game. Spring Arbor came up with a big win against Indiana Tech. And, you know, this Crossroads League's always just up for grabs.
Yeah, Huntington really needs to take advantage of this slow start that some of these other teams have got this season, as you always got to take advantage when you see the opportunity, and I'm sure HU is willing and hungry to do it tonight.
We've got one final clip to show you before we head into starting lineups and get closer to tip-off between Kentucky Christian and Huntington University. The students of FDN Sports caught up with Coach Corey Alford in practice earlier this week. Take a listen in.
Yeah. Let's go right to it. Shot, Luke. Fresh out of class. This ball sucks. Good job, Green. Dead. White ball. Walk through it, walk through it. That's too far out. Talk, talk, talk.
Dunk him.
That's why I'm going under. They're just beating it. It's not actually working on it. Go under. The same as last time, Joe. It's called scram. If you get caught up, it's got to be. You're never going to get back in front. Good job, Jackson. Come on, Green. No one's talking. No one's boxing out. I'm right here. I'm saying drop, drop, drop. And I'll just keep on dropping as long as he's going. Now, I can't end up too high, and then he's below me. You have to roll with him. And the one thing we're giving up is mid-range pull-up. All right? You're not dropping on Z or he's going to murder you. All right? But certain teams were going to do it, and they don't know what they're doing. Good, Landon. Good, Landon. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Chill out, CB. Chill out, CB. Right there, yes. Good. That's good, White. I'm telling, that's what we want. Same idea. It's almost easier in the middle. Good, Cade. Good, Cade. Dead. Rotate through.
Welcome back to Platt Arena. Catching up with Coach Corey Alford. Always very calm, fun-spirited in practice, and a really good leader for this team. And so far, over his first 3 seasons, that's come to life. 64-30 as HU's head coach, and doing a really nice job again this year in the early goings.
Yeah, I mean, his record speaks for itself. I mean, 64-30, that's 2 wins for every loss. So that shows that he's just a winning coach and he knows how to help his teams win.
He's done a nice job recruiting again this year, and we'll see some freshman phenoms that'll get some important minutes throughout this year. And tonight, we're going to take a short break. We'll take it to the national anthem and the prayer, and then we will be back for tip-off between Kentucky Christian and the Huntington University Foresters on FDN Sports.
Okay, 117 Echo, take 1, cover mark.
And action.
I'm the script supervisor.
I'm first AC for camera A.
Second AD.
Best boy electric.
Focus puller.
I'm about to run this right here and man the camera.
B-Speed.
Thank you, bye-bye. We've got over 20, 25 students that have worked really hard all semester preparing for this month-long experience.
Oh yeah, the standards have definitely been raised. You ready for me or no?
Normally we do films in 3 days,
We do a lot of student films.
and this has been like 4 weeks plus an entire semester of prep.
This is just insanely different.
The respect that I have for anybody doing group work on a feature film is through the roof.
On set this week, we have Stephen Baldwin.
Let's leave him to do the miracles and me to handle the business.
On the technical side, it was better than anything I've ever experienced before. Kudos to Huntington University.
I'm afraid our conversation ends right here.
Immersive experience. I wish I had had something like this.
Pros come in, and they've come in from all over the country. Our department heads.
The first 2 weeks of mentorship, I mean, it's a lot of teaching. Let's see if I can catch any more. It's fun to see where the students are now. We're on week 4, day 17. We're getting there now. I think it's good to walk away.
I think everybody on this project is in a little bit over our heads. But the prerequisite for being used by God is self-doubt. And we are all being used by God.
All of us are here and gifted with different things by God, and all of those pieces are going to fit together and make a really incredible movie.
I think that I'm like way more capable of like hard labor than I thought I was.
I think I've definitely become more confident in myself and the process of being able to figure stuff out when there's a problem.
Making movies is hard, but it's definitely it's meaningful because it's bigger than you.
I definitely think God is teaching me patience. I have learned how to take things with stride.
We want the way that we make movies to reflect our Christian faith. That's almost more important to me, that our students are seeing that. That's convenient, thank you. I hope that they can take something of what we're doing and live out their faith no matter what movie set they're on.
Folks, that is a picture wrap. Woo! We just made our movie.
see it. Come on. And even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop. You never stop working. You never stop. You never stop working.
Welcome back into Platt Arena. Let's get down to starting lineups between Kentucky Christian and the Huntington University Foresters here tonight. Kentucky Christian will start Arkeese Reynolds and Jaden Lloyd. Excuse me, we're back here at Platt Arena. Jaden Lloyd is the starting freshman point guard out of Lake Wills, Florida. Arkeese Reynolds out of Clearwater, Florida as well, starting for Kentucky Christian tonight. We already talked about him, but D'Angelo Stockstill, arguably the best player for this night's team, coming off a 22-point performance his last time out. A 6'7" forward starting in the 4 spot tonight. Lamar Northington out of Hopkinsville, Kentucky will also get a start with Race DeBoard, another freshman. This Kentucky Christian team starts 3 freshmen on the year. They're a young team looking to build this program, and so far, Coach Charlie Pack doing a nice job with recruiting.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that they're trying to build a young core here and develop them over these next couple of years to start competing at a high level.
And for the Huntington Foresters here tonight, they'll be starting the same starting lineup we saw on opening night. Gage McGuire, the Emporia State transfer, will be getting his second start of the year. Lane Sparks, a straight scorer, went over the 1,000-point threshold in his last game. He is going to move up that scoring list for this Huntington team throughout his career. Landon Jordan changing numbers this year, wearing number 23. He also had a big night with 18 on opening night. Jackson Paul getting his second start, along with the 2-time All-American Zach Goodline, and we are just about ready for tip-off inside Platt Arena. Foresters look to move to 2-0 on the year. They'll be taking on a Kentucky Christian team who is 1-1, a big defeat to Grace, but they did win their last match against Goshen.
Yeah, that was a tough victory as they only won by 1 point, so it was a close game, but I'm sure it's a game that they are glad that they won.
The Huntington Foresters wearing their white jerseys here tonight as they look to stay perfect inside Platt Arena. Last year, this Foresters side was 24-8 overall, 15-2 at home, and that is a goal that Coach Corey Alford pushes his team towards every single year. See if you can stay undefeated as long as possible inside Platt Arena. This year, they got a little nicer version of Platt Arena as well.
Yeah, I mean, the renovation to the Plex is definitely a reason for them to play harder and remain undefeated.
Tip is out of bounds, and the Foresters will start with the ball. HU coming off an explosion on offense, 111 points. Knocked down a ton of threes on opening night. Zach Goodline had a quiet night. We'll see if he wakes up a little bit here in the second game. Of course, he didn't try to score too much in that first match. Goodline working with Landon. Up top,
wow.
One-hand jam to start the night.
That is quite the start for HU, getting a lob on the first play.
Foresters love working between Goodline and Jordan on the pick and roll. Back comes Kentucky Christian with Jaden Lloyd working against Goodline. Lloyd only 5'8", but a pretty good scorer as he keeps his pivot foot down there. Deep shot clock here for the Knights, and their red away jerseys going from right to left on your screen. Nice moves, good defense by Jordan. Backing in down low is Kentucky Christian, and a tough finish there by the Knights to tie it up at 2. That was Arkeese Reynolds, who's averaging 10 points per game.
That was a tough finish. I mean, that's over a defender that's right up against him. That's a tough shot for sure.
Lane Sparks over to his backcourt mate in Zach Goodline, trying to work that 2-man game again with Landon Jordan. They had him for a moment, but Goodline goes with the left hand.
That is commitment to the play there, as he didn't care about how many times he got bumped. He just was going to finish that layup no matter what there.
Goodline only at about 6 feet tall, one of the best finishers within the lane. Here comes Arkeese back the other way. This time it's knocked away and picked up by the Foresters, who want to run with Jordan. Tough catch out wide for Jackson Paul, into the lane, through the contact, and scores it.
Yeah, that's a tough finish. That was over a taller defender, too. He manipulated the ball around the hand of the defender to finish the tough layup.
Our player to watch for the Foresters, off to a nice start, 1 for 1 from the field. HU doing a nice job on defense as Jackson Paul had a breakaway there. He is going to be called for a foul. Jackson told me before the year started he was going to have a dunk. That might have been his best shot.
Yeah, the refs called it, though, as he tripped up the Kentucky Christian player there, and he got called for it.
So 6-2 early lead for the Foresters as they continue to roll with the same starting lineup that we saw on opening night. Of course, Roman Brewer, we'll see him later in the game as Goodline has a steal now and heads back the other way. Foresters running with Landon Jordan again. He's fouled and somehow gets it to go in.
That is just an incredible play. I mean, that two-man game between Goodline and Jordan is just something that HU really appreciates and loves to work with.
It's almost too hard to throw it too high for Landon Jordan, and that's going to force a quick timeout for Coach Charlie Pack as the Foresters are off and running here early inside Platt Arena.
It's exactly what they did against Grace Christian. They're looking to do the exact same thing here tonight.
That is one of the things that Coach Corey Alford talked about yesterday when I met with him during practice. He thought his defense was really good and his offense was obviously really good, putting up 111 points on opening night. But the key for him tonight is get out and run against this Kentucky Christian team. So far tonight, that's all they've done.
I mean, you've seen it with a couple of poked balls loose so far, as Goodline and Jackson Paul have been poking the ball loose pretty much this entire time, and their defense is really making them get these fast break transition plays, which is huge for scoring.
Coach Corey also keeps track of those deflections in practice. And what they do is they keep track of that every single practice, and that's bled over to the women's side as well. So that's an important stat for Coach Alford as Jackson Paul keeps it alive. Outside, Zach Goodline, left wing, drives in through the traffic. Zach steps back, goes to Gage McGuire into traffic. This time it's taken away by Lloyd. Back the other way comes Kentucky Christian. Spin move, nearly got to go. Couldn't get it to fall. Paul rips down another rebound.
That's great defense from HU.
Jackson trying to get that one through. No goaltending called. Looks like it could have been. Back the other way comes Kentucky Christian, and Northington knocks down the first three of the night for either side.
That's a tough break for Huntington, as it looked like it could have been a goaltend, but they didn't get the call, and Kentucky Christian gets the bucket off of it.
That is something these NAIA officials can review this year. Goaltending calls after the play has completed. So we'll see if they take a look at that one at the first media timeout. Goodline working against the smaller Lloyd here. Goodline, one of the best handlers in the gym, but it's knocked away. Northington back the other way, up with the left hand. Can't get it to go over Sparks, and Arkeese Reynolds is there to clean it up.
That was a tough bucket in transition, as, I mean, he fought through the contact. A good 2-on-1 defense there for Huntington. It's just the second player was there to clean it up.
So back to just a 1-point lead for the Foresters as this Kentucky Christian side continues to play tough defense. Too much contact there, as picking up the first foul of the night for Kentucky Christian was raced aboard.
Yeah, HU's definitely going to be looking to get them in foul trouble here early on, as free throws are always a good way to score easy buckets that can really tally up on the scoreboard.
Couple of changes for both sides. The Knights come in with Jalen King-Joyner. He's had a decent year so far, averaging double digits. Foresters go right back at him with Ehrig and Roman Brewer in for the first time, who really wowed the Forester fans on his debut. Good defense here by Lloyd. Second straight possession. Back cut for Goodline. Flips it up. It's knocked away, and it looks like Zach's going to head to the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, he made his way through 2 defenders there, an acrobatic finish, but couldn't get the bucket to go, but he did draw the foul.
Zach, one of the best free throw shooters in all of America last year, was 0 for 0 from the line in the first game of the year. His first free throw on the new season is no good. That's called the old broadcaster jinx.
That is a broadcaster jinx for sure.
Shot over 90% last year from the charity stripe as he tries to give HU a 2-point lead, and he does just that. So far, impressive defense by these guards for Kentucky Christian, though, Ryan. They're holding down Lane Sparks to no baskets so far, and also doing a pretty good job on Zach Goodline.
I mean, they got a steal off Zach Goodline. As you said, he's one of the best handlers in the NAIA, so the fact that he was able to get a steal off of him is impressive.
Travel called there on the Knights. HU back with the ball up 9-7. Really good crowd here on a Friday night for the Ness Bros Hall of Fame Classic. This event's been going on for as long as I can remember, and one of the best events for Huntington University athletics all year long.
For sure. I mean, it's always a chance for the students to see their team compete at a high level.
Goodline had it knocked away. He has it back now and takes that one into the contact. Jaden Lloyd's got another foul, and Goodline looks like he's heading back to the free throw line.
Tough break for Kentucky Christian there. He played pretty good defense all the way there, but he was able to go up into his arm and draw the foul.
That's a veteran move there by Zach Goodline, able to feel Lloyd playing a little too tight and makes the first one count. Zach, only 7 points, excuse me, sorry about that.
No,
Ryan.
you're good.
Only 7 points in the opening game, but already up to 4 here tonight.
Well, being a veteran here at HU, I mean, 5 years here, I mean, he knows a thing or two about getting to the free throw line. So expect to see him there a lot throughout tonight.
Goodline goes 2 for 2. Forrester lead back up to 11-7. HU will be back in action tomorrow against West Virginia University Tech, as they will play after this game as well. So 2 games here tonight inside Platt Arena. Forrester's kicking off the Ness Bros Classic in front of their home crowd.
Looks like Stockstill is about to come into the game for Kentucky Christian.
Nice play there by DeBoard as he gets that up and in. And Stockstill, another player to watch, yet to get a shot off for his team here tonight. So HU shutting down the man they want to. It's just been the other Kentucky Christian Knights that have had a good night so far. Paul drives baseline, tries to find Brewer, who does pick up the loose ball. Ehrig trying to work it to Goodline. Instead dribbles towards the lane. Good flip pass there, knocked away again by Kentucky Christian. They're out and running. Sanders to the rim and ties it up on the breakaway lay-in.
Kentucky Christian's playing with some fire here early on, especially on defense. They're making it hard for HU to dribble and just get a play going.
Forrester's averaged less than 10 turnovers all of last year. Goodline float shot, left it short, knocked away. Zach picks it up. Thought about a long 3. Sparks wants to get involved from the wing, and he doesn't miss many open opportunities.
No, he does not, as that is exactly what he was looking for, an open 3 there, and he gets his scoring going, which is not a good sign for Kentucky Christian.
Sparks is the 54th Forrester to join the 1,000-point club. He did that in the last game as this one's knocked out of play. It looked like Sparks got the last touch on it, and that will be the last touch before the first media timeout. We'll take a break with them. We'll be back. Forrester's up 3 right after this break on FDN Sports.
And for the Forresters, number 10, D'Angelo Stockstill, returns.
Arena, and Ryan, this Kentucky Christian team trying to find their flow offensively in those first 2 games tonight look pretty solid so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're averaging 63.5 points per game over their first 2 games of the season and only 25% from 3. So that is a huge point of focus for this Kentucky Christian team if they're going to want to beat this tough HU team.
Jalen King-Joyner gets on the board for the first time tonight as HU breaks down on defense. A couple more changes as Mitchell Wilson and Joel Dyer, 2 really good shooters for the Foresters in the game. Bad pass there by Joel, another turnover, and right now the Foresters just look a little too sped up.
Yeah, they're trying to get the offense going by just rushing around the court, trying to get a play going, and Kentucky's taking advantage of it by making them rush.
Already 4 turnovers. HU averaged only 9 per game all of last season. Good defense by Wilson. He forces a steal. And now Mitch wants to push the pace. Joel Dyer, corner pocket, 3-ball, fading away, missed everything. There to pick it up is Roman Brewer. Loose ball, Kentucky Christian comes up with it. Able to pull it out of there was Colby Gray.
That's a rare air ball from Joel Dyer, as he does not air ball often.
One of the best shooters on this team last year. He made 4 3-pointers in the last game, just couldn't find it there as Gray takes a tough shot. It's knocked away, and Roman Brewer looks like he held on to Stockstill a little too long, picks up the foul.
That's a tough break, because they were about to have a fast break opportunity there, but you can't hold someone on the box out.
So it'll be a inbounds play underneath their own basket for Kentucky Christian. As Sanders comes and takes a break. This Kentucky Christian team uses quite a few players, and they've all been pretty effective here tonight.
Yeah, their teamwork has been really what's held them together, as they've been playing good team defense and moving the ball very well.
Northington trying to set it up with Stockstill here. Back cut for Kentucky Christian. Finally, the pass sneaks in there to King Joyner, knocked away. HU gives it right back. Northington can't finish at the rim. Offensive rebound, though, for Northington. King Joyner trying to find the touch, and it's knocked away. Joel Dyer. Sparks running in transition. 3-ball, and that's not an easy shot, but he's 2 for 2 from deep.
His shooting is incredible, as he's looking to get going early on, and he's 2 for 2, so it's a great sign for HU.
He can take over games, as he averaged 19 points per game last year. Got off to that average again on night 1. Northington working, able to keep his pivot foot there. As Kentucky Christian turns it over once again. That time it's a travel from Colby Gray. This hasn't been the prettiest game by both sides, as the turnovers are starting to pile up, but I feel like this is the brand of basketball that Kentucky Christian's looking to play. They're comfortable with this pace from HU, and they're forcing a lot of mistakes right now from the Foresters.
Well, another thing that they're taking advantage of is offensive rebounds. Is they're getting a lot of second chance points from these offensive rebounds and drawing fouls on box outs, and it's handicapping HU for sure.
Sparks, tough 15-footer in and out, and rebounded down by Arquise Reynolds, who's back in for the Knights. Arquise pushes it forward. Lloyd looked like he got away with the travel. Corner 3-ball from Northington. That one's in and out. Jordan rips down his first rebound of the evening.
Very close call there. It did not go HU's way.
Jordan's got the mismatch down low with Lloyd. Sparks, top of the key, thought about the 3, drives to his natural left side and flips it over the top of Stockstill.
Early 8 points for Lane Sparks. That's what you want to see.
Jordan knocked that one out of play, and that's kind of what Landon Jordan does, is sticks around on those inbound passes and makes it tough on the opposing team, as he did there on Stockstill. You know, Stockstill's listed at 6'7", but Jordan's all of 6'9", and I think Stockstill's right up there with him, and that's a big reason why he's the leading rebounder on this Kentucky Christian side as well.
Yeah, Landon being there in those inbounds is huge, because it doesn't allow them to get that fast break opportunity, which is huge for allowing their defense to get set in.
Another mistake by the Knights, as a back cut wasn't there for the away team that time. Foresters get the ball back, up 6.
Yeah, they're having a couple of tough breaks here on offense. They've turned it over multiple times in a row, and it's not what they're looking for.
Good line, handling the pressure from Lloyd, goes right through the lane, and he gets it to go off glass once again.
That is a veteran move right there, going to the basket and finishing it through tough contact.
Lloyd has been providing really good defense, but Zach Goodline, one of the best players in the country, front runner for National Player of the Year, just finds ways to score through the lane, as he has already a handful of times tonight. Drew Goodline, his brother in the game, playing defense here. Long pass to Arquise Reynolds. Back the other way, tough, fading away 3 and knocking it down as the freshman Race DeBoard.
It's a great start for Kentucky Christian for three-point shooting, as they're 2 of 3 so far, so that's exactly how they wanted to start, from deep.
DeBoard, just a freshman, averaging right at 9.5 points per game. Dyer inside to Landon Jordan, spin move, left it short. Stockstill rips it away, and then Jordan called for a foul, trying to keep the play alive.
He tried to go with the around the opponent strip and he just slightly got the hand of the defender, of the rebounder, which you can't do.
Usually don't get away with that one. Jordan thought he had all ball, but Stockstill pretty strong with it when he has it. Doesn't usually give those away. Lloyd running the point, nearly turned it over. Instead, it's the freshman again, DeBoard through the lane. Stockstill trying to get involved, shot a 10-footer, missed everything. Offensive rebound, shot clock down to 10. Back the other way comes HU. Good line with the Euro and finish with the left.
That is a tough bucket. A Euro is not an easy move to complete and especially finish a layup off of. So tough transition bucket for Zach Goodline.
Zach already up to 9 on the night. Tough inbound pass there. Jordan does enough to knock it away, and Dyer was trying to block out. Lloyd came down hard. The foul is on Joel. And it looks like that'll take us to another media timeout. The Foresters up 7 here, less than 10 minutes left in the first half. We'll see what Kentucky Christian has in store coming out of the break on FDN Sports. Back at Platt Arena, and so far tonight, the Foresters haven't looked their best, but still have found a way to build a 7-point lead, Ryan. And, you know, sometimes you got to find different ways to get it done.
Yeah, they're 9 of 14 from the field right now, 2 of 2 from 3, so both of Lane Sparks' threes being the only three-pointers they've shot tonight, and they have gone down, so that's a good start for HU. But they've got to get their field goal percentage a little bit up if they want to pull away even more.
And this Kentucky Christian side, they lost 25 games last year, only won 5, so they're already moving in the right direction, and it's just some of those stepping blocks that they're taking right now to become more competitive, especially against a really tough team like the Foresters.
Well, like you said, they're starting 3 freshmen in their starting lineup, so they're really trying to build a core group here in Kentucky Christian to compete at a really high level in the next couple of years, and this is just kind of a development year for them.
Lloyd working against Dyer. Good defense by the Foresters. 6 on the shot clock. DeBoard traveled, and the Foresters force another turnover, as HU has done a great job playing defense here, especially coming down the stretch in this first half.
And a couple of turnovers have been unforced turnovers for Kentucky Christian, as they're just not reading where their teammate is going or traveling. So it's definitely, but HU's defense is a huge part of it too.
Defense back the other way by Kentucky Christian. Trying to pick it up was Reynolds. He does on the second attempt. Cross court path. Jaden Lloyd knocks down a long ball, and that's something he struggled with to start the year, but a big-time shot by him.
Yeah, like I said, Kentucky Christian is wanting to get their three-point percentage up this game, and they've started really well, 3 for 4.
Back down the lane goes Zach Goodline, flips it up and in. He's already into double digits.
That's a tough floater there, and he just got right around the defense, and the defense could not get up enough to get that block.
Good defense by Zach. He's pushing the pace the other way, goes through 2 defenders. Looks like he was hit right on the top of the head. Instead, it's rebounded by Kentucky Christian. Lloyd thought about a 3 from the same spot, has to start over here outside with Drew Goodline defending. DeBoard cuts in, loses the handle, picks it back up. Lloyd defended by Zach Goodline. Great job by Zach to move his feet. Knocked away, McGuire picks it up.
That is a forced turnover right there for HU. Wow.
Dyer goes behind the back to Landon Jordan. Not a slam there, but it counts the same.
Yeah, that is a flashy move from Joel Dyer there as he's trying to get the HU crowd up and going here.
Joel Dyer had one of those last year against Spring Arbor as well. That one went to Landon Jordan. Last year it was Hank Pulver, who's obviously graduated and into his professional career, but Joel Dyer seems to be a pretty good passer.
Yeah, I mean, that's not an easy pass, so the fact he's able to pull that off and make it look good at the same time is impressive.
Forrester is working on the sideline there, and the hustle rewards him with another possession as Gage McGuire was right in the middle of that.
They're just fighting for all these loose balls, and it's shown as they're getting tons of transition buckets and fast break points that are coming off of them, and they're really forcing Kentucky Christian to reevaluate their offense and get something going.
It's Zach Goodline, Drew Goodline, Joel Dyer, Gage McGuire, and Landon Jordan right now for HU, and another foul called. As Gray held on to Goodline. That's now the 5th foul on the guest here tonight. Excuse me, only the 3rd. Looking at the wrong side there as the Foresters have 4 fouls, now 3 on Kentucky Christian.
HU's looking to even up the fouls here as they've been getting some unnecessary fouls. They've been giving unnecessary fouls, I should say, so far this game, and so they're trying to look to tie it up so that way they're both in free throw penalty.
Paul goes into Goodline. Zach off to a nice start tonight. Sparks has a couple of baskets as well. Goodline through the lane again, knocked away, and it's off the defense, and Goodline's getting a little frustrated with some of the contact.
Yeah, Kentucky is being very physical with him as they know how good of a scorer he is, so they're trying to bother him by pushing him, and they've been able to get away with a couple of calls, so they're going to keep going to that.
Goodline will trigger it from below his own basket, goes up top, caught by Sparks. Sparks so good in the ISO spot. Backs down the defender, shoots away a 14-footer, and he is getting it going now.
Yeah, that is just an incredible shot. I mean, that's a tough top of the key fadeaway. And I mean, it's only worth 2 points, but it's an impressive 2 points.
29-19, Foresters with their largest lead of the night. As Kentucky Christian tries to cut into it, Raymer knocks down a 3 ball, and that's really kept Kentucky Christian in the game right now.
I mean, they're 4 of 5 right now. They've doubled the amount of threes that HU has taken so far.
Jordan with another slam from Goodline. That 2-man game looking awfully sharp here early as Jackson Paul nearly caused a turnover there. It's a foul on Jackson. I think that might be his 2nd of the night.
Man, that Landon Jordan dunk and the Zach Goodline pass, it's a move that HU likes to go to often, as it is usually a certified 2 points for them.
Check out that look from up top. There's not many people that get that view, but Landon Jordan seems to have it a lot.
Yeah, he's always jumping up in the air and throwing down some great passes from his teammates, and you know he loves to be the hype man for his team.
Another travel by Kentucky Christian as Raymer got a little too far ahead on that possession.
I mean, that's 11 turnovers for Kentucky Christian.
Starting to pile up, as that's 7 possessions they've given away. The Foresters have cut their turnovers down, however. They're only at 6 after turning it over frequently in the first 10 minutes.
I mean, 11 turnovers is hard, and a lot of them have been unforced. It's just something that really hurts your offense when it happens.
Landon Jordan has 2 offensive rebounds. Can't get either one to go, but he will head to the free throw line for the 2nd and 3rd time tonight.
He was looking like a pogo stick down in the paint. He was just jumping up and down, getting all the rebounds, and Kentucky Christian couldn't do anything about it.
You know, Landon Jordan has come so far since his freshman year. He had a lot of issues staying on the court his freshman year. His emotions got the best of him. He would get upset anytime he fouled. Now, Coach Corey Alford has kind of locked him back in, and Landon has come a long way to being one of the most productive big men in the entire Crossroads League.
Yeah, I mean, controlling your emotions is something that is very tough in basketball, and it's something that all players strive to correct and be better at. So Landon, he when he wants something, he's gonna have it. So he's doing his best to fix that.
And maybe the best news of the night, he knocks down both of his free throw attempts. Shot 43% from the charity stripe last year. If he can add that to his repertoire, he becomes really dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, Forrester's already with a double-digit lead here.
Back the other way comes Kentucky Christian. Stockstill's been quiet, takes a long three. Jordan rips it down. HU has a chance to add to already their largest lead of the night. Jackson Paul getting a lot more ball handling experience this year as he cuts right. Cut off there by the defender, knocked away. Picking it up is Arquise Reynolds. Sparks nearly forces a turnover in transition as him and Jackson Paul not on the same page on that last possession.
That is a great defensive play from him as it stopped an easy transition fast break as his teammates were coming up behind him, so they would have been able to clean it up. So the fact that he got to knock the ball out of his hands and force them to have an inbounds play is huge for HU.
Trying to keep it alive on the sideline as Landon Jordan pulls it away up to Zach Goodline, who will finish easy with the right hand. And Zach is off to a hot start here tonight, up to 13 leading all scorers.
I mean, you knew that after a slow offensive night in the previous night that he was going to want to kick it up and score here tonight. And he's done just that.
Him and Sparks can take over games as Jordan forces a pass out wide. Another chance from three, but stepping out of bounds was DeBoard. And those turnovers are really the difference right now as we head to another media timeout. Forrester's largest lead of the night, up 13 in front of a rowdy Platte Arena home crowd. We'll be right back on FDN Sports. And we're back at Platte Arena. The Foresters up 35-22 with just under 5 minutes to play. I want to give a quick shout out to everyone working in the back tonight. First time producing Courtney Grimm. Called a lot of her plays this year. She's on the women's volleyball team here at HU. Called a fair share of that throughout this fall season and doing a great job here tonight. But also everyone else in the back, we appreciate what you're doing, and I know all the fans and families of both these sides are appreciating all your hard work, along with our cameramen, camera women as well. And, you know, we're giving a lot of different looks this year on these Forrester broadcasts. We've got the cameras above the rims. We've got the cameras on the sidelines. And that's not something you see at a lot of NAIA schools, Ryan.
Yeah, we've really tried to step up our broadcasting game this year, especially in volleyball and even soccer. We've stepped it up. So, I mean, we're really just trying to give our fans the best experience possible and leave the people that are part of FDN Sports with a good experience in the background for when they go into the field.
And as always, we'd love to know where you're watching from tonight. We'll give you a little shout out, maybe a halftime, and just know that we appreciate you tuning in for Forrester basketball against Kentucky Christian tonight. Good line in Earig, who cuts through the lane, trying to get his first basket of the year, can't get it to fall. It's knocked away, and Eric Sanders rips it down. Kentucky Christian, a good defensive possession. Again, if they did not have all those turnovers, they're shooting right around 50%. Right now, it's the inability to take care of the basketball that's really caused them to fall behind.
Yeah, I mean, those unforced turnovers are just something that you really got to control, and if they get out of hand, it does hurt your offense a lot.
Northington with another three ball. He's having a great night inside Platte Arena as he's now 2 for 2 from deep. Good line works to his left, had Sparks cutting. Now he finds him. Sparks misses both shots. Earig pulls down the offensive board. Henry had 7 rebounds in the opening night. Good line through the lane. Can't get the float shot to go. Landon Jordan keeps it alive, but it finally falls to Northington. 4 chances for HU, couldn't finish. Back at the rim comes Kentucky Christian. Stockstill out wide. 3-ball to board, too long. Henry with another rebound.
Great defensive play from HU there.
Good line in slow-mo, uses the Euro again. This time goes to the right hand.
He might be on his way to a 30 bomb tonight. 15 already in this first half.
Good line also passed in HU great in his last game. He's now 14th all-time on the scoring list. He passed Brody Graber in his last game. Landon Jordan forces a miss. Good line, pushes to Sparks in transition, misses it long. Mitchell Wilson rebounds and puts it up, and he'll head to the line for 2 as Sanders got him on the arm.
That Landon Jordan pressure on the defensive end, I mean, he gets up so high, and so the attacker is forced to really put the layup high off the glass, and it just forces a really tough shot for Kentucky Christian.
Mitchell Wilson will head to the line to try to score his first points of the night. Mitchell coming off a really nice game against Grace Christian, 13 points. And he's someone that just can kind of add to the depth of this team as he knocks down the first. If Mitch can come in and knock down a couple of threes, this team becomes so much just more equipped and dangerous to fight for a Crossroads League championship this year.
Yeah, I mean, Zach, like we've said throughout the broadcast, Zach Goodline and Lane Sparks just draw so much attention on offense, especially for the other opposing team's defense, that pretty much all the focus is on those two and Landon Jordan. So the fact that Mitchell can come in and get a couple buckets really unnoticed is something that HU really appreciates, and it's helped them to rack up wins.
Drew Goodline back in as well as Zach stays out there. Two brothers from Coloma, Michigan combining on the court. Another 3-ball, this time left short by DeBoard. Rebounded by HU, they're back and running. Drew Goodline pulls up from transition, and now both brothers getting it going.
The brother duo looking like some scoring machines out here for HU, and that's a tough stop and pop from 3.
Drew has worked so hard to find minutes on this team, and you cannot be happier for that guy right now, as he had a nice opening night and he's off to a good start here in game 2. Backdoor cut to Lloyd. Goodline rips away, that being Zach. Still has it. Pushing it up to Drew. Thought about another 3. Drops it back to his brother. Goodline wants 2 in a row. Launched too long. Brewer keeps the line for Ehrig, and he's got his first basket on the young year.
Ehrig had an impressive first game against Grace Christian, looking to continue that tonight.
That was all Roman Brewer who knocked that one towards Henry, and Henry Ehrig doesn't score a lot, but he does score there, and HU up 18. They're getting the ball back after another KCU turnover.
The unforced turnovers have just really hurt them tonight. I mean, they've allowed HU to get really far ahead because of those turnovers, and they really are going to have to lock in and stop committing those unforced turnovers if they're going to cut into this deficit.
So HU got off to a slow start. Right now, firing on all cylinders as they look to add to a large lead here in this first half. Drew Goodline out wide. Jackson Paul wants to join the action. Knocked long. There's Roman Brewer. Gets 2 rebounds. Drew Goodline wants his second 3. Rattles in and out, and it's a foul on Stockstill as Roman Brewer is doing exactly what the Foresters need him to do, keeping possessions alive on the offensive glass.
I mean, he is like a bulldog underneath. He will do anything for that rebound, and KCU is really feeling the pressure from him on the boards.
So you wonder, how in the world does someone from Liege, Belgium come to Huntington University and play basketball? Well, it's all about connection for Coach Corey Alford. He had someone that he was good friends with, is involved with Fellowship of Christian Athletes all the way in Nevada where his dad coaches. As Joel Dyer wants to interrupt, and it's a good thing he did because the Foresters are up 21. Anyways, you go back to that FCA connection through Nevada, knows someone that runs FCA camps in Belgium, and that's how Roman Brewer ends up in Huntington, Indiana.
I mean, foreign players are such an untapped market for a lot of college teams looking for players, and I mean, there are some very talented players that are now showing up in like the highest leagues in the world of basketball. So, and it shows because Roman Brewer has been huge for HU in these first 2 games.
He has. He does get a foul there, which is his second of the night, and that'll put Kentucky Christian Knights at the free throw line. DeBoard will have his first few attempts from the charity stripe this year. DeBoard, just a freshman. Race is off to a really nice start. 9.5 points per game, 13 points and 7 assists against Goshen, who is a Crossroads League team in the same conference as the Foresters, so really good competition, and he was able to step right in and as a freshman have a really productive game.
Yeah, I mean, this Kentucky Christian team really looks to their young guys to score. And, I mean, he is one of those young guys that puts up buckets for them and helps them stay in games.
Coach Corey Alford wants to draw up one final play here as the Foresters can't hold for necessarily the last possession, but close. While we have the time, let's give a few shout-out to some of our viewers. We've got, excuse me if this is pronounced incorrectly. I usually get a pronunciation guide, you know. Jane Elzinga watching from Parrish, Florida. Go Foresters. She writes to us on YouTube. And also we got Kayla Gill and Ziggy tuning in from Viva Las Vegas. So we've got viewers from all over the nation here tonight taking in some Forester hoops. And that is really what has happened with this basketball program. People from all over the nation want to tune in and see what Coach Corey Alford's team has in store every single night.
Well, I mean, and the FDN Sports crew has really tried their best to upgrade the broadcast to be like the broadcast that we watch on ESPN and TNT. As I mean, those people don't get to come into Platt Arena and see the game live. So that's the best way they're able to watch their players play, and we're doing our best to make sure that their experience is as best as possible.
Zach Goodline showing off the handles. Drew Goodline looking for his second three of the night. Can't get it to fall. Roman Brewer kept it alive. Goodline over to Jackson Paul. Now Drew drives baseline. He gets it to go off glass, and HU gets the final basket heading into the half. HU up 21, and the Goodline brothers putting on a show for the Huntington crowd here tonight.
And Ronan Brewer putting on a show on the boards. I mean, once again, there for the rebound, allow them to do the quick passes that allow Drew Goodline to get a wide open layup.
So the Foresters take a 21-point advantage to the half. HU starts off slow. They turn it around, shoot 57% from the field in the first half. We'll take a break. We'll come back with some stats, and then towards the end of the half, we'll have Coach Corey Alford to catch up with us on how that first half went for his side. We'll be right back on FDN Sports.
Our second game tonight will be the West Virginia University.
So I teach actually a variety of classes. The majority of the classes that I am in charge of have to deal with literacy, and part of that is because of the background that I have in teaching as a reading remediation teacher in the public school system, but I also teach technology integration, classroom management, and differentiation, as well as educational psychology.
I really want to try to help people as much as I can, and education provides like a good learning path so that I can do that, and I also learn a lot of good skills so that if I decide I want to break away from doing that, I can take the skills that I've learned in my ed classes and apply it to a lot of other things.
Besides the teaching, I do get to go and observe our students actually educating kids in the real world, so that's super exciting.
Next semester I'm taking my sophomore practicum, and then I have my middle school practicum and 2 high school practicums, and then I have my student teaching. So I'm going to be in a classroom for like almost every semester I have left of college, and not a lot of schools have that opportunity.
If you feel that calling, don't become discouraged if people try to talk you out of it, because it's about so much more than just a paycheck.
All the professors, they are so intentional And I know this is about the ed department, but I'm English ed, and the English professors are also really great. And so I feel like I really lucked out.
Oh, I absolutely love the students. So I feel so blessed to be here and at a faith-based university.
It's just like the teachers are very open to critique and open to receive critique, and it's very nice. So come.
All these years, you're still the same pathetic trash.
Glenn, is that you?
Hey, Harold.
Welcome back, Glenn.
You ain't taking me in, are you? 'Cause I can drive.
20 years. You just left, you didn't call, I thought you were dead.
What's going on that field over there?
Yeah, we're building a church and a school.
We've sold 3 churches and raised 50% of the budget.
Hallelujah!
I'm not about to waste any hard-earned money on some pastor pipe dream that can't even get a line of credit.
Did you get the call from Lloyd?
Lloyd had a heart attack. We have to find a new carpenter by the end of the day.
Could you use me? Your brother says you're a singer.
Your breath smells like gasoline.
Having a drunk build this He's not church? a drunk. He's a broken man, just like you and me.
Why can't I just learn the guitar?
You know how we feel about rock music.
Why are you here?
I reckon I could ask you the same thing.
What if somebody did something they weren't supposed to do and you knew about it?
What Glenn needs is a doctor, not a church with no money and a charlatan for a pastor.
Dad!
The best friend I ever had. I love you.
If the Israelites can knock down the walls of Jericho with a prostitute and a marching band, surely Glenn can help us build this church. Remember, ask,
And it shall be given to you,
seek,
and ye shall find,
knock,
and the door shall open.
Hallelujah!
Amen.
Let's roll.
For the Foresters, being set up a lot by their defense. Cron goes back row. Grace gonna try to find some action again, and doing so is Sahara B as she swats that one towards the back line.
Yeah, Haley Cruz just tried to go for that there. She got there a little too late there on that play.
So Grace will now be serving for the second time tonight. Lancers, Riley Owens will have the serve.
Okay, 117 Echo, take 1, cover mark.
And action.
I'm the script supervisor.
I'm first AC for camera A.
Second AD.
Best boy electric.
Focus puller.
I'm about to run this right here and man the camera.
Speed. Thank you. Bye-bye. We've got over 25 students that have worked really hard all semester preparing for this month-long experience.
Oh yeah, the standards have definitely been raised. You ready for me or no?
Normally we do films in 3 days.
We do a lot of student films.
And this has been like 4 weeks plus an entire semester of prep.
This is just insanely different.
The respect that I have for anybody doing grip work on a feature film is through the roof.
On set this week, we have Stephen Baldwin.
Let's leave him to do the miracles and me to handle the business. On the technical side, it was better than anything I've ever experienced before. Kudos to Huntington University. I'm afraid our conversation ends right here.
We also have casted Bethany Lind. She's on Ozarks and a DC series right now.
You just left, you didn't call, I thought you were dead.
I think this is an amazingly immersive experience. I wish I had had something like this.
Pros come in, and they've come in from all over the country. Our department heads.
The first 2 weeks of mentorship, I mean, it's a lot of teaching. Let's see if I can catch any more. It's fun to see where the students are now. We're on week 4, day 17. We're getting there now. I think it's good to walk away.
I think everybody on this project is in a little bit over our heads. But the prerequisite for being used by God is self-doubt. And we are all being used by God.
All of us are here and gifted with different things by God, and all of those pieces are going to fit together and make a really incredible movie.
I think that I'm like way more capable of like hard labor than I thought I was.
I think I've definitely become more confident in myself in the process of being able to figure stuff out when there's a problem.
Making movies is hard, but it's definitely it's meaningful because it's bigger than you.
I definitely think God is teaching me patience. I have learned how to take things with stride.
We want the way that we make movies to reflect our Christian faith. That's almost more important to me, that our students are seeing that.
That's convenient, thank you.
I hope that they can take something of what we're doing and live out their faith no matter what movie set they're on.
Folks, that is a picture wrap.
Woo!
We just made our movie.
Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper. My God, that is who you are. You are. Light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And even when I don't see it, come on. And even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. And you are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are.
Foresters with a big halftime lead, and HU did it kind of in a different manner than the first game they played on opening night.
It's a lot of defense, as their defense has been forcing Kentucky Christian into a bunch of turnovers, a lot of turnovers. In fact, Kentucky Christian is up to 15 turnovers in the first half to HU 7, so they've doubled in turnovers, and that's something that Kentucky is really going to have to get in control if they're going to win this game and come back.
And Coach Corey Alford doesn't like to see his team turn it over more than about 10 times per game. In that first half, they turned it over 7, but most of those coming in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, they really did their best to halt those turnovers throughout the second part of that first half, and it showed with them getting buckets upon buckets while playing great defense and causing the other team to turn it over.
HU has 3 in double digits. Zach Goodline leading the way with 15 points, 5 assists, 4 steals. He did it all in that first half. Landon Jordan had 10, most of them right at the rim. And then Lane Sparks, who didn't see the ball much to start the game, hit 2 threes in a row. He's up to 10 as well.
The big three for HU when it comes to scoring, which is Landon Jordan, Zach Goodline, and Lane Sparks. They're doing exactly what HU expects them to do, and they're carrying the offensive load for HU so far tonight.
And our man to watch was Jackson Paul coming into tonight. Only had 2 points. He does have an assist and 3 rebounds, but also forced some turnovers. He's never one to really light it up on the score sheet or the scoreboard, but he just does so many good things that Coach Corey Alford notices that maybe the regular viewer would not.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of those things are just his on-ball defensive pressure. I mean, every single time he is guarding the guy that is dribbling the ball, I mean, that person is having to dribble behind their back to keep it away from him, as he's always just right there.
We will wait and see if we get Coach Corey Alford here at the half. Sometimes he's a little too busy. His father is in town tonight, the head coach for the Nevada Wolfpack, Steve Alford, a obviously amazing basketball player in the state of Indiana, one of the all-time greats at Indiana University. Very saddened by the passing of Coach Bobby Knight, as many in the basketball community are, an extreme legend and a mentor to many coaches, including Coach Alford here for HU.
Yeah, I mean, he was an IU coach for a very long time and led to some successful years for IU, and he will be missed by the basketball community.
3 national championships and a lot more success than just that. Built a lot of really good humans, and I think Coach Corey Alford's father, Steve, would say the same about the man that Bobby Knight was. I think Corey forgot about us, which is sometimes easy to do as he's trying to keep his team locked in during halftime. It's all right, we'll get him after the game, and we'll hear what the head man for the Foresters have to say. I do want to say, Ryan, we also have some viewers out of Melbourne, Australia. I mean, all over the world, FDN Sports reaching out tonight. And, of course, we would assume that's to watch the Aussie Joel Dyer, who's been a real firework shooting it from behind the arc for the Foresters. Had a great opening night. A little bit slower of a first half here this evening, but, man, he won the Foresters some game last year down the stretch, especially that Mount Vernon game late in the year inside the old Platt Arena.
I remember I was watching that game, and he hit, I think, 3 threes in a row to close out that game. I mean, his shooting is something that HU just really likes to take advantage of, because it puts the opposing team's defense in such a scramble that, like, they have such a lights-out shooter, and it just really helps get open looks for them. And if there's not an open look for them, he'll most likely drill the 3.
So the Foresters off to a hot start again on offense at 57.6%. 4 of 4 from 3. They kind of fell in love with the 3-ball in game 1. They did make 14 of them. But Coach Corey Alford loves seeing his team get to the rim, and some free throw attempts already into double digits in that category as well.
The Kentucky Christian will be looking to sharpen up their offense and really limit the turnovers this quarter. And HU will try to continue what they're doing, and that's force it inside and force turnovers.
DeBoard had a nice first half, pushes it out to Lloyd. He shoots a long ball, and he knocks down his second 3 of the night. Nice play there to open up the half by Kentucky Christian.
I mean, their shooting has not been the problem tonight. They're locked in from 3-point range. It's just it's their scoring inside. HU with the taller defenders have proved very difficult to score over.
Landon Jordan nearly had another dunk there. Stockstill picks up the foul, and he'll quickly be subbed out, as those are piling up against D'Angelo here tonight, already his 4th.
You do not want him to foul out, as he is, arguably their best player on their team and one of the driving forces of their offense and defense. So that is the last person you want to see in foul trouble if you're Kentucky Christian.
Coach Alford did put the exclamation point next to his name, though, to take a look at him when he has the ball on offense. 0 points in that first half, and he'll sub out now just 33 seconds into the second half.
I mean, HU's defense has done their best to halt him at every single point that he is on the court, as they are making sure he does not get the ball by sticking a taller defender like Landon Jordan on him.
It's now 49-30, HU up 19 as they try to hold on to this lead here in this second half against a talented young Kentucky Christian side. One of these young guys right here, Lamar Northington, working inside. Hands it off, nice attempt, and then it looks like a foul called behind the play there as Landon Jordan tried to get a block. Instead, Reynolds will go to the line for 2.
I mean, that was some tough defense from Landon Jordan, as the guy got him on his backside, and he did a little spin move and moved midair to make sure that he hit his arm, and it's just a tough break for HU.
Pretty good defense, it looked like, by Jordan, but the whistle did go against him there, and he collects himself in the backcourt. as Reynolds does miss the first. He's shooting 66% on the year from the charity stripe. Marquise, couple of dribbles, takes the second one, misses it for a moment, but then does get the roll there. These rims awfully friendly at HU. We've noticed that already. I thought that one was off by Reynolds. Instead, drops it in.
The shooter's touch has not been off for either team tonight. That is for sure.
Jackson Paul goes into the defender from DeBoard, and he's called for a foul as Coach Pack maybe thought Jackson Paul walked there. Instead, it's a personal against DeBoard. That's his third of the night now. Handoff from Jordan to Goodline. McGuire open in the corner. Zach cuts it in through the lane, loses the handle, and it's knocked away and off the knee of Zach Goodline. Forrester's another turnover.
I mean, that is just perfect defense from their guard there. I mean, Zach Goodline, he's really good at scoring around the rim and getting those layups to go. So his ability to knock the ball out of his hands is very impressive.
DeBoard tries to get in. Instead, he sneaks to Lloyd. Nice dump pass inside, and Reynolds missed the bunny. Goodline pushing it forward. Sparks thought about a three, now puts it on the floor. Lane to the rim with his strong left hand. Can't get the roll. Rebounded down to Reynolds. He throws it up ahead. Northington cuts through. He misses an easy shot. Jackson Paul kept it alive, and then it's thrown out by Paul, and it's Kentucky Christian's ball. Kind of a wild play there down on this end.
Yeah, both teams scrambling for the ball. Jackson trying to find Zach Goodline there as he was falling out of bounds and just couldn't do it.
Marquise Reynolds will toss it in as the board continues to really handle the ball here in this second half, working against Landon Jordan. DeBoard over to Marquise Reynolds. He makes a nice move. McGuire blocks it from behind.
That is a perfect chase down block.
And Jordan hands it off to Jackson Paul, who sneaks it in with the right hand. Landon probably could have gone up and hammered one in. Instead, Jackson Paul gets his second basket of the night.
I was expecting Jackson to get up there and get his dunk of the year so far, but he just decided to lay it up instead and get the easy 2 points.
Reynolds tries throwing a bounce pass inside. Landon Jordan may have just got a leg on it and knocked it out of bounds. So Kentucky Christian will keep it under their own basket. Jaden Lloyd out of Lake Wales, Florida, will inbound it. 5'8", standing against 6'9", Landon Jordan. Drops it inside, fadeaway shot, not there for Raymer.
I mean, that is just a tough shot. And that is a very tough shot to make. So not the look that Kentucky Christian was looking for there, but it's the one they got.
Zach Goodline working against Jaden Lloyd through the trees outside the lane. Sparks tried throwing a pass and went right off the head of Northington. Still staying in the play is Lamar as he's guarding Goodline now. Zach's got to go to work. 4 on the shot clock. Outside, Lane Sparks forces it up. Can't get the roll. Tipped alive by Jackson Paul. And Gage McGuire's there on the second chance.
Our key player to watch, doing the little things that go unnoticed, like tipping the offensive rebound to his teammate for an open layup.
Nice play there by Jackson Paul to keep it alive. Forrester's adding on to that lead, and a 3-ball by Northington as he launches it over the much taller Landon Jordan. And Northington on the night has been one of the best players for this Kentucky Christian side.
He is leading the way for them in scoring right now with 9 points. So, I mean, that's a player that they're really going to have to watch for the rest of the second half if HU wants to halt their scoring even more.
How about Jackson Paul getting it going now with a little Dirk fade in the middle of the lane?
Yeah, that's a tough shot, and it shows the amount of work he's put in practice to be able to hit those kinds of shots.
Another 3-ball. This time from DeBoard doesn't go. Northington has another chance, and he's starting to find his stroke from behind the arc.
He is 4 for 4 from three-point range. So, I mean, he's shooting almost as many threes as the entire HU team combined right now.
Easy lob from Goodline to Jordan. That duo continues to connect right at the rim tonight. DeBoard pushes it right past Zach Goodline, misses an easy shot, and then Lloyd called for the foul as Goodline had it ripped away.
Unfortunate miss there for Kentucky Christian as he had a pretty open layup and just couldn't get it to go.
I tell you what, you really have to respect this Kentucky Christian side. You would assume on paper they're outnumbered, outsized by this HU team. They're not expected to really stick around, but they have not played poorly. It's just the Foresters have taken advantage from too many mistakes.
I mean, they've played some great basketball for most of this game so far. The only issue has really been turnovers. It's HU's defense just forcing them into so many turnovers. It's just really hard to get your offense going when you have a lot of turnovers.
See Cade Brenner for the first time tonight. He lets one go right away. Brewer keeps it alive, but then Arquise Reynolds pulls it down. Reynolds working against Earig, goes coast to coast, has to pass it out wide. That's Colby Gray who's back in. Eric Sanders hands it off, and now Earig's called for the foul as Jalen King-Joyner was driving left, and Earig just held him up a little too much.
A little bit too aggressive on the defensive end, but that is the type of defensive intensity that, you know, Coach Corey Alford is looking for from his guys.
HU up 20 here in the second half with 15-15 remaining, still shooting 56%. They have missed 1 3 on the night, 4 of 5 from behind the arc. Cutting inside is Raymer. He gets it knocked away, and Drew Goodline pushing the pace. Drew throws it up and in through the contact. Nice move past Northington.
Switched hands for the offhand layup on the other side of the glass. That is a tough bucket.
Drew Goodline can play a little bit. We're starting to see that over these last 2 games.
I mean, you see it in his older brother Zach Goodline, so he's got to have some skill.
Colby Gray now knocks one down from the top of the key, and the three-point shooting continues to keep Kentucky Christian within striking distance. Drew Goodline cutting baseline, and that one's knocked out of play, and it'll take us to our first media timeout here in the second half. Foresters up 19 when we come back on FDN Sports. We're back at Platt Arena. Preston Husband alongside Ryan Holzapple. And if you tuned in tonight and you tune in tomorrow, you might see a banana crew, but you'll definitely hear Ryan and I on tomorrow's call as well. And you know what? This chopping block for the Foresters, a new addition to Platt Arena, has really brought a lot of different characteristics in the young season. I know we had a harmonica during volleyball season. Now you've got a banana crew, and who knows what we'll see once we get into conference play.
Yeah, I mean, HU is really looking for their student section to show up and really bring some energy into the arena during games. And as you can see with the banana crew, the students have taken that initiative, and they're trying to bring as much energy as possible.
Entry pass from Earig's knocked away as Kirk Pence stole it. Back the other way comes Kentucky Christian. Up top, Colby Gray coming off a 3-ball on the last possession. Working with some of his teammates to try to get back in this game. Drew Goodline has another steal. Earig back in transition. He's up to 4 now as the Foresters are really doing a nice job with the game plan, getting out and running against this young Knights side.
I mean, that's 10 steals on the night so far. I mean, HU's defense has been suffocating their perimeter dribblers and facilitators, so that is a huge advantage for HU so far tonight.
Roman Brewer playing pretty good defense up top. Cade Brenner gets called for a foul, and it's an and one as Eric Sanders finished that one off. Excuse me, it wasn't Eric Sanders. That's the wrong Kentucky Christian player. It was Arquise Reynolds who got to the basket, worked through Cade Brenner, and you know, that's something that Coach Corey Alford talked about. His freshmen in Landon Beagle and Cade Brenner are more prepared to play offense at the college level than they are defense. And that's something that they've been grinding on in practice. And that's hard to do coming from high school to the NAIA Crossroads League to be a good defender.
Yeah, I mean, defense is something that coaches preach about in college leagues. And I mean, it's something that that has to be taught. It's not just, it's just not naturally there. And so, I mean, the fact that we've seen these HU players really hone in on their defense to become the best defenders as possible for their team shows the commitment they have to this team.
Ehrig committed to the offensive glass. He has a couple of offensive boards and then gets a chance for Cade Brenner at the rim. And I'm telling you what, Ehrig is a different player already this year. He had a slow year last year on offense, but did bring some energy. The freshman out of Utah uses the vision that time to give it right to Cade Brenner at the rim for his first 2 points of the night.
I mean, 6 rebounds for Henry, leading the Foresters in rebounding, and he's not as big as some of the other guys on the floor, which just shows his willing to fight on the boards and to get those extra possessions for HU.
So just checking the clock here before we get back to the action. 9 of 10 from 3 right now, Kentucky Christian. They're trying to get another one going in transition. Good defense by the Foresters, but an easy basket again for Arquise Reynolds, and he's starting to put together a few baskets in this second half.
Those are the transition buckets that HU has really limited that they took in the first half. And, I mean, as you can see, transition buckets are one of the easiest ways to score for this Kentucky Christian team.
Cade Brenner drops it off to Roman Brewer. Now goes to Henry Ihrig, and he tried forcing a foul. Instead, it's blocked away. Foresters will have it under their own basket with 12 to play on the shot clock.
A little stagnant possession there from HU as they didn't, I mean, the defensive pressure of Kentucky forced them to kind of force up a shot there.
Good line as a late clock maker. He went through the contact there, couldn't get it to go with the right hand. Back the other way comes Kentucky Christian. That's DeBeard who drives in, and it's a foul on the floor. Drew Goodline just getting that arm from behind. And the fouls against the Foresters right now 4-3 in this second half.
I mean, it was the same way in the first half. Foresters with more fouls than Kentucky Christian, but Kentucky Christian has not taken advantage of those fouls, as a lot of them end up with empty possessions, and that's something they're going to have to lock in on.
It'll be Kentucky Christian's ball. Colby Gray looking for a teammate, and now he launches it straight out of bounds, and the Foresters will have a possession off another Knights turnover.
That's that Landon Jordan inbounds defense there, causing them to throw it just a little bit too far for their player to catch.
Jordan at 6'9", and probably one of the best verticals we've ever seen in HU history. It's tough to get over top of him when it seems like a mountain standing right in front of you.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it right there, a perfect example of why he guards the inbound passes.
Good line through the lane again. Couldn't get it to go off glass, but he will head back to the free throw line as Zach is working on a really good night tonight. Looking to continue to climb up the all-time ranks of HU scoring, and we'll have 2 opportunities to continue that here at the line.
I mean, he's such a natural scorer for this HU team. I mean, the team looks to him to score, especially when it's late in the shot clock, late in the game, in clutch time. I mean, he's their go-to guy, as well as Lane Sparks. So you know that he's going to be getting his points all season and climbing that leaderboard.
Good line. I talked about it last time as he misses the second one. Is going to probably be a top 5 scorer in HU history, and that is quite the list to be on. Of course, leading the way, Steve Platt, longtime coach here, the arena named after him, all-time leading scorer in Indiana college basketball history, as Kentucky Christian continues to run pretty good offensive set. And now Sanders will get 2 free shots.
I mean, I think we both noticed a shift in their offensive flow as they're really getting the shots that they want and breaking down the HU defense, which is something that they struggled with in the first half.
Sanders did not shoot a free throw coming into tonight's match in the first 2 games. And he does miss the first there. That's his first attempt of the year, 0 for 1. But if you look at Coach Charlie Pack's team, 5-24 last year, they're going to be better than that this year. I mean, they're really solid, just like we mentioned, some freshmen starting for them, and that's caused some mistakes on offense.
I mean, whenever you're starting with a younger group, turnovers are a huge part of like something that you fix and something that you work on throughout the years.
Sparks with Somewhat of a circus shot there, fading away. Thought he might have been fouled, and Sparks is so deadly when he gets going to his left hand, and an offensive foul called on Kentucky Christian.
Tough break for Kentucky Christian. Great defense from Lane Sparks here to force the offensive foul.
I mean, if Lane Sparks was 6'5", he might be suiting up for a big-time Division I school with his ability to shoot it at the mid-range at 3 and also get to the rim.
Yeah, I mean, he's just such a deadly scorer. There's almost nothing he can't do.
Landon Jordan almost had his first real highlight of the year, but Zach Goodline was fouled first, and Zach right back to the line. And we talked about Zach's free throw shooting last year. He was right around 90%. Tonight, just 4 of 6, 6 of 11 from the field. He hasn't really had to get it going in this second half, but he took over some periods of that first half in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, when you dominate the first half the way that HU did, it really takes the pressure off of the HU offense in the second half and really makes them more focused on their defense to halt the comeback. So he's definitely not looking to be as much of a scorer this second half, but you know he's still going to get his buckets no matter what.
He's nearing that 20-point mark here tonight as he's now up to 18. Did knock down both of those free throws. Mitchell Wilson still in there, the all-time leading scorer for Columbia City. Trying to play defense this time. Sparks almost forces a jump ball. Now a tough shot by King Joyner. And he's fouled by Lane. Sparks didn't think so, and Goodline tries to give us another highlight. Lane thought he was fouled on a jump shot earlier in this second half. This time he's guilty on defense.
I mean, I think if he was able to hold on to that ball for just even half a second, it would have been a jump ball. But the Kentucky Christian player was able to rip it out and get the free throws.
See this replay here. He did force it to kind of get knocked out of the hands of King Joyner. But at the end of the day, Jalen did enough to get fouled, and he makes both the free throws count. So it's 66-48. Foresters running a true freshman out there with Cade Brenner, Mitchell Wilson, the senior, Lane Sparks, Zach Goodline, another senior, and the junior, Landon Jordan. Mitchell cuts into the lane. Thought about a little fadeaway 10-footer. Instead, hands it off to Zach. Goodline cuts in. Thought about a tough shot. Brenner keeps it alive. Now Cade goes up with the left hand. Can't get the roll. Cade gets his own miss. Goodline wide open in the corner in front of his bench and knocks it down. And Goodline over 20 points now tonight.
That is the rebounding hustle from Landon Jordan that allowed a wide open three-pointer of the deadliest scorer of the night so far. Not what Kentucky Christian was looking for.
Jordan goes up, forces a tough shot from King Joyner, but then he makes the harder one on the backside, falling away.
He left the reverse layup a little bit short and then makes a falling down shot. That is something else.
Lane Sparks bumped, and he's fouled by Lloyd, and Lane Sparks going to go to the free throw line now as these free throws starting to pile up for the Foresters. This will be attempt number 17 and 18 on the night.
Yeah, I mean, HU is really taking advantage of these free throw opportunities, as well as the reason they're able to get to the free throw line is the amount of second chance points they're getting off of those offensive rebounds. I mean, their offensive rebounding is 15-7 on them. So, I mean, they're getting so many second possessions, which is the perfect chance for these players to get those free throws.
Look at this play from King Joyner, just falling away, kisses it off the glass, and that's one of the most interesting finishes you'll see inside Platt Arena. I don't know if you are old enough, Ryan, but Chris Kramer once made one from his knees for Purdue, and that's maybe the closest thing we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, you can see from Landon Jordan's face the shock that he made that shot. He was like, there's no way. I played perfect defense there.
Good line trying to keep the handle. Gage McGuire picks it up, goes straight into the defender and scores it right over top of Raymer. And now Gage McGuire showing a little bit of offense.
Yeah, I mean, that's just pure like offensive, like almost intimidation at that point. I mean, he just went straight into him and there was hardly any contest.
Foresters trying to lock it down on defense here. Lloyd, who's been a good player tonight for Kentucky Christian. Kicks it over, deep three ball from Northington. This time left it a little short, and that's going to take us to another media timeout. Foresters extending their lead. They're up 75-50 when we come back for the next 9:25 on FDN Sports.
Reports in for the Foresters, and we've got a timeout on the floor.
Foresters up 25 as we come back into Platt Arena here on FDN Sports. Our second men's basketball game of the year. Third tomorrow against West Virginia University Tech. We'll see those familiar Mountaineer colors tomorrow. But tonight, it's been HU and Kentucky Christian going back and forth. And we keep talking about it, but the turnovers have really plagued Kentucky Christian tonight, or else this game might be a different story.
I mean, if you look at the turnover difference between HU and Kentucky Christian has 18 to 8 of the Foresters. I mean, that extra 10 turnovers have led to an extra 22 points for the Forester offense off those turnovers. And that is really, I mean, if you look at the lead now, that's pretty much the entire lead right there.
So the Foresters looking to put this one away, up 25 with just over 9 minutes left. Gage McGuire trying to show some of his offensive skills, and he scores it right over top of Stockstill, and he'll have one more coming from the free throw line.
Man, that is just a tough finish. I mean, that is over 2 defenders, a little spin move, and he just muscles it up and in.
Gage McGuire listed at 6'7", transfer from Emporia State, only averaged about 2.5 last year, and tonight he's having his coming out party with the Foresters as he's had a couple of tough baskets.
I mean, Stockstill's got to be careful on the defensive end, as HU will be looking to try to draw the foul on him, as he is at 4 right now.
I did think that was on Stockstill. Instead it went on Raymer, who it looked like he reached in, and meanwhile on the loose ball, Jackson Paul picks up his second of the night. 77-50 inside Platt Arena. If you're from around Huntington, you can come in and catch the Foresters live tomorrow. If not, you can tune back in at 2:50 p.m. Eastern time, as Ryan and I will bring another Forester home game to you. And Jackson Paul, our man to watch, has given us a good reason to give him some extra looks here in this second half.
Yeah, I mean, he's played really well. He's done all the little nitty-gritty things that that coaches always appreciate, and he shows why he's so valuable to this HU team.
Entry pass to Stockstill is a little too hot from Raymer, and Huntington starting to put this one away here with just 8:37 left.
There's a little bit of matrix going on by our cameraman Carson as he dodges that ball coming straight at him. That was impressive.
There he is, right behind Roman Brewer, as Carson has to play a little dodgeball. And, you know, there's athletes all over this place tonight. We've got one producing, and it looks like we've got a dodgeball specialist on the camera.
Yeah.
Gage McGuire taking a look. He wants to clear it out. He'll work inside again. That spin move we've seen so much. Misses with the left hand, tries the right. Can't get it to go, but third time's a charm.
I mean, he got 3 opportunities. That's just lazy effort by Kentucky Christian on the boards. I mean, they just allowed him to get whatever he wanted right there.
Yeah, maybe just starting to feel that this game's getting away from him. As a 3 balls attempted in the corner, a little too long from Northington. Brewer stabs it away. Joel Dyer running the point right now for HU. Joel wants to get involved off the dribble, goes outside to Jackson Paul. Little shimmy move through the lane, off the glass with the right hand, and Coach Pack wants a timeout as it's all Foresters right now with 7:40 remaining.
And they've upped this lead to 35 points, and Jackson with a couple of really nice buckets here and proven why he was the key player to watch for the game.
So while we've got a little time to talk about it, obviously HU looks a little different this year. Not only the gymnasium in Platt Arena, but there's several other parts of this campus and athletic facility that have started to change. And a big reason why HU wanted to make that happen this year is the Foresters must have a video board to allow replays and different angles, which will be working here shortly later into their season to host the NAIA tournament. A big reason they added on locker rooms, a video board, kind of a hospitality area behind us, is because Coach Corey Alford wants to bring the NAIA first and second round tournament to Huntington. And can you imagine the advantage the Foresters would have in front of this Forester faithful crowd in Huntington?
I mean, it's truly, the renovations have been awesome, and I think all of the sports teams and all of the students and people that have used it so far have really appreciated the upgrades. And the video board, while it hasn't been working so far, they are getting it to work. And I mean, to be able to host such a huge game here, it'd just be so big, as we've never really been able to do that before. So it'd be a landmark in HU broadcasting for sure.
I mean, you remember last year what it was like when the Foresters simply hosted the the Crossroad League tournament games. This place was electric, and you bring in a national tournament game, I think you're gonna have a big turnout and may sell this place out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that the HU guys would just absolutely be thrilled to have that opportunity, as any athlete would, especially compete on such, with the light shining their brightest.
Back in play here, HU up 33, their largest lead of the night. Kentucky Christian trying to settle into their set on offense. Colby Gray goes up top. This is Northington. He's had a nice night. Back out to Gray. He's hit 1-3, tried banking that one in. Brewer, another rebound. Foresters push it forward. Drew Goodline thought about pushing it down the lane, instead drops it out to his brother Zach. Mitchell Wilson and Roman Brewer working out there with Landon Jordan, something that we thought we'd see, two big men. As Zach goes in and dodges the defender, scores it again.
As a tough finish, as he changed the whole direction of his body going up to the rim, and the defender was not ready for it.
Zach Goodline with a team high and game high 23, and now 25, as Zach has had an explosive night doing most of his work right at the rim.
I mean, this is exactly what HU looks to see from Zach Goodline, is this explosive scoring, and he's done exactly what they have expected from him.
Game getting a little chippy down low, as it looked like Raymer and Jordan ran into each other. Another chance from DeBoard, can't get it to go. Landon Jordan pulls down another rebound. Now Mitchell Wilson wants to get involved. Can't get that three ball to fall. Rebound back the other way. Kentucky Christian pushing the pace. Nice move by DeBoard, just couldn't score it, and Roman Brewer uses that forearm to push Stockstill out of the way, and he's got another foul.
Unlucky break from HU there, as they would have had another fast break opportunity there, but you can't extend that elbow when getting the rebound, and the referee usually won't miss that call, so they called him for it.
Pretty obvious to see there, as you see that miss from DeBoard. It was on the backside that Brewer just gave a little forearm shiver to Stockstill and didn't get away with it that time. Stockstill a little too hard on the free throw attempt. He has had a quiet night tonight. The Foresters have held him scoreless. He came in with 22 in his last game, and now Drew Goodline has his second three of the night.
I mean, HU has done exactly what they wanted to on defense, and that is completely halt any scoring Stockstill can give to his team. And I mean, it's worked to perfection for them so far.
Back the other way comes Kentucky Christian. They're down 40 now. Drew Goodline has a steal. Drew with the left hand pushes it forward. Joel Dyer, the Aussie, out wide. Mitchell Wilson trying to get involved, misses that one short, rebounded by Kentucky Christian.
So Dyer's showing a little bit of that passing flair again there with the little underhand scoop assist there.
European style basketball, always a little different, and he adds a lot of that to this side as Stockstill misses that easy shot and rebounded by Brewer.
You can tell that the defensive pressure HE has put on it has kind of put almost held his confidence back a little bit on offense, as he is not taking as many shots and not taking the right shots that he usually does.
Wilson now gets one to drop, his first 2 of the night. HU up 92-50. They look to move to 2-0 on the year and will hope to extend their perfect start tomorrow at 3 p.m. against West Virginia Tech. Brewer called for another body foul, and Roman does seem to pick up quite a few fouls. He's still kind of learning the style of NAIA basketball and Crossroads League basketball, and sometimes it's almost like he's just a little out of control on defense, and that's something that Coach Alford will try to rein in.
I mean, all of the attributes that he gives the HU team is worth taking for a couple of foul calls. I'm sure Corey would agree with me there. But yeah, that is something that in practice that I'm sure he's working with Roman right now, working on, because that transition from European basketball to even just like USA basketball, it's such a big transition, and it is very hard to make that transition and do it well. And so it shows, I mean, his fight tonight has shown that he is capable of it, and Coach Corey Alford knows he is.
And Roman's not had a big night scoring, but has done an excellent job rebounding once again, and that might be his main job on this team. He's got 8 boards, he leads the Foresters. He had a nice night rebounding against Grace Christian on opening night when he rebounded 5 misses from Grace Christian, and sometimes that's all you need is that extra big man to come in, give Landon Jordan a little bit of a break, and play physical brand of basketball to earn extra possessions and keep away extra possessions for the opponent.
Yeah, I mean, his rebounding is something that HU treasures, as Landon Jordan is looked at, because he is usually one of the tallest guys on the court, as he's going to be their rebounder, but he's sneakily rebounding the ball more than Landon Jordan this year so far.
Another missed free throw from Kentucky Christian. Ehrig collects another rebound. Him and Roman now tied for the team lead with 8 boards. Cade Brenner out there, Landon Beagle, the first time we've seen him tonight, had 12 in his debut just a few nights ago here in Platte Arena. Sparks wants a couple more, goes through the defender and can't get that one to fall. Lane frustrated on that driving attempt.
That was a smothered shot. I mean, Kentucky, that the defender was not letting him get that shot up.
Sparks knocks it away. Cade Brenner has a leak out. Jackson Paul might try one, and he can't get it to go, and maybe not what Coach Corey Alford wants to see late in this game.
I mean, that's something that you expect from the HU players, especially when they have such a high. Is like they're gonna start having a little more fun, but that's not what the coach wants to see. He wants to see hard basketball throughout the entire game.
So Jackson Paul misses that one. Landon Beagle has it now, goes back to Sparks. He's bumped off his dribble, and this time Sparks gets the call, and he'll be heading to the free throw line as the Foresters are in the bonus.
Knight's personal foul on number 1, Artis.
Jackson Paul did say he was going to get one this year, but didn't get it yet, and Coach Corey Alford might have to have a little chat with him on the bench as he falls into the arms of his high school and college teammate Landon Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a pleasure for the coach to see his team having fun out there and playing, but it is a little bit of a sloppy play, as I mean he's not known as a prolific dunker in the NAIA, so, but hopefully he will get one here soon.
So Sparks finishes off both free throws, and he does finish the night with 16. Right now the second leading scorer for the Foresters tonight, and the Foresters force another turnover. Drew Goodline looking for his 3rd tray of the night, and Drew is shooting it well tonight inside Platte Arena.
I mean, 13 points. He's tied Landon Jordan in scoring for HU.
HU really pushing the pace now with Cade Brenner. Drew Goodline wants another one. Can't get it to fall. Luke LaGrange, who's just in, keeps it alive. Step back three from Beagle. And once again, LaGrange keeps alive for a moment, but back the other way comes Kentucky Christian as Brenner forces a miss. We're in the middle of a track meet right now, I feel like, Ryan, as these two sides flying back and forth up the court.
The second unit for HU is really looking to push the ball and push the pace.
Gavin Wisely looking for his first HU basket. Can't get it to fall. Kentucky Christian back the other way. Nice move by Reynolds as he uses the Euro step to score past Brenner.
I mean, one of two of Kentucky Christian's double-digit scores up there with Northington as well, as he's been a huge part of their offense tonight.
Arquise does pick up the foul in the backcourt here, and Cade Brenner is going to get a chance to head to the line. Cade not shooting it as well as he'd like, as he's 0 for 2 from 3 tonight. Does have 2 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And this is one of those freshmen that Coach Corey Alford believe will have some big games this year. Right now, just kind of trying to find his rhythm and role on this really good top 20 Forester side.
I mean, when you have a talented roster around you, especially as a freshman, it's hard to find your place on the team. But, I mean, the coaching staff has done a great job of really making him feel like he belongs in the program and doing their best to incorporate him into the lineup.
Lloyd came back the other way, handed off to a teammate, and that was Jarius Bryant, who's just into the game and uses the glass to get his first basket.
A pretty move there, a little spin layup off the side of the glass. That is very nice.
Drew Goodline running the point with Cade Brenner out there. Cade coming off the screen. Luke LaGrange, son of Gabe LaGrange, HU legend, top scorer in program history. Brenner still yet to find that first three-pointer as a Forester. Arquise Reynolds between 3 defenders, goes out wide. Nice pocket pass to the corner. And once again, inside, an offensive rebound by the smallest guy on the court. Lloyd has been excellent tonight. I mean, he is a fun player to watch. Only at 5'8", comes out of there with an offensive rebound and keeps the possession alive for the Knights.
While he hasn't been explosive on the offensive end, his defense has been really showing up tonight, especially with such a tough matchup in Zach Goodline, who obviously with 25 points has been scoring like he always does, and he just has that veteran advantage of playing for a lot longer. And I mean, even though he's been scoring, he's still been playing great defense all night, and he's caused a couple turnovers for Zach Goodline. 99-58, HU lead with less than 2 minutes left in Platt Arena. Foresters rolling to a 2-0 start as they try to hit the century mark for the second time this year. Wisely off the dribble, through the lane, can't get the roll as that HU bench was ready to explode, as Wisely still looking for his first HU points. You know that the HU starting lineup will do anything they can to hype up their bench unit.
So Wisely will head to the line, looking to etch his name into HU basketball history, and Gavin does just that. First collegiate points for the freshman out of Bloomington, Indiana, and he really is talented. I think Coach Corey Alford would like to see him maybe put on some weight in the weight room, but at 6'9", he shoots it extremely well and obviously just showed off his handles a little bit as well.
You see Landon Jordan over there really cheering on his teammate, as he knows that he's going to be one of the guys that takes over that big man role for HU and Landon leaves. So love to see the support from Landon there.
Drew Goodline coast to coast, and Drew having an offensive explosion as he's up to a career high 15 points tonight.
Goodline brothers sharing 40 points together. It shows the offensive dynamic of the two brothers. They're just able to get it going on offense.
Tough bucket from Kentucky Christian as Northington continues to be a real solid player for this Knights side tonight. The score is going to look ugly at the end of this one, but I'm telling you, the effort and the skill is there for Kentucky Christian. Just maybe a few years away from really competing, as Goodline gets another steal, and Wisely puts icing on top of the cake with a two-hand slam, and that should do it, as Kentucky Christian will have the final shot here tonight.
I mean, Kentucky Christian is still a very young team, as you said, and I mean, they will only get better. And so, I mean, the future is looking bright for them. And even though the scoreboard does look ugly, they still put in effort, and they showed off their skill tonight against a heavy favorite in HU.
So 105 to 60, I believe, as the scoreboard in the arena is 58. On the stats, it's 62. On the scoreboard, it's 62. So I don't exactly know which one's right. We've got 3 different scores, 3 different places.
Yeah, the scoreboard keeper fell asleep a little bit on the job.
It's easy to do when HU's up big, but hey, you still got to work all 40 minutes to get your paycheck, you know? So we'll have a little break in the action. Of course, we've told you a few times, but tune back in again tomorrow on FDN Sports. We'll be live at 2:50 p.m. It'll be Ryan Holzapfel and myself, Preston Husband, back on the call. HU looking to go to 3-0 tomorrow. And, you know, HU expected to win these games, but it's still about finishing and finding ways to, you know, win the games you're supposed to win, as I guess Kentucky Christian may get one more shot.
Yeah, I mean, the game doesn't look as close as it was in the first half. As the first half, Kentucky really did fight hard, and it was the turnovers that really handicapped them at the end of the night. But, I mean, still such a good effort from this team.
Drew Goodline rips down the miss, and the Foresters finish off Kentucky Christian here tonight. Final score, 105 to 62. HU over the century mark in their first 2 games of the season. And the most important stat, HU 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, to start off the season 2-0 is something that every team wants to do, and HU was able to accomplish it tonight in dominating fashion, as they really showed their offensive and defensive potential for this year.
The Foresters shoot it at an extremely high clip again tonight, over 54% from the field, 7 of 16 from 3. They got to the line 25 times, made 18 of them. And HU, led by the Goodline brothers, who combined for 40 tonight, 2-0 on the year. They'll look to move to 3-0 tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Alford can't be anything but happy tonight, as he saw the effort from his team, and I mean, his players really showed out tonight and proved why they belong at the top of the NAIA.
And the most important thing that Coach Corey Alford's going to take a look at tonight is their team, his team, I should say, the Foresters started with 6 turnovers in the first 15 minutes of the game. They only finished with 9, so that's right where he wants his team to be, under 10 turnovers per game, and they stay right on that average tonight. And Coach Corey Alford can't have many bad things to say about this game against Kentucky Christian.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive pressure was there for Kentucky Christian. They're providing a lot of defensive pressure, which caused Zach Gullen to turn it over a couple of times when he was dribbling, but they really honed it in, and it showed as they were a complete offensive unit in that second half.
HU puts up 105. They hold Kentucky Christian to 62 tonight. We will take a short break, see if we can get Coach Corey Alford to stop in and talk about his team's 2-0 start. We'll be right back on FDN Sports. 105 here tonight. They put up 111 on opening night, Ryan. It's a well-oiled machine right now on the offensive side for the Foresters.
Yeah, I mean, they had it going early on, especially with their fast break opportunities and fast break points and transition buckets, as it really just allowed them to get that early lead on Kentucky Christian, and they were allowed to expand it from there.
And Kentucky Christian was really hanging tough in that first half. You know, talking to some fans even at halftime, it was 48-27 Foresters at the halfway mark, but Kentucky Christian played well enough to be in the game. It just kind of got away from them, and at the end of the night, just too much HU. I think we're going to skip out on Coach Corey Alford here tonight. We'll shut it down. We've got a busy day of broadcasting again tomorrow. But as always, we want to thank you for tuning in. We want to thank Courtney Grimm for producing here tonight and everyone else involved with the FDN Sports crew. All students, other than myself and maybe Adam Widener, I'm not sure if he was on the crew list tonight, but all students other than us two tonight, and what a job they did for our second men's basketball game. For Ryan Holzapple, Preston Husband, we will be talking to you guys tomorrow afternoon.